Hello everyone, this is Galacticus coming back to you with another video, this time with a review of Revelation Space, which is a hardcore science fiction book written by Alastair Reynolds in 2000. Alastair Reynolds is a British astrophysicist, and at some point, I'm not sure if that's the case anymore, he worked for the European Space Agency. Now in this book, he clearly displays his expertise in astrophysics and his fascination in large-scale galactic storytelling encompassing billions of years of evolution, an extremely vast interwoven story scaling from one single individual up to the entire fabric of intelligence and intelligent civilizations in our galaxy. Clearly, the target audience for this book is limited, and it can be found in individuals who can appreciate the extremely fine detail in the writer's description of astronomical phenomena. But that's just a portion of the book. This extreme level of detailed descriptions extends well beyond scientific matters and into the characters themselves, their thoughts, their personalities and behaviors. There are different settings and different environments, fascinating environments ranging from huge starships, alien cities, and mysterious ancient archaeological dig sites, and so on. Now, this is a large book. It's over 700 pages long, and that's the reason it took me a little longer to read and review. I thought I could be finished by mid-February 2018, but here I am a month later behind my original schedule. And it's not just the length of the book. It's a fairly difficult book to follow through, because it's comprised of different stories running in parallel, and although these stories are related to one another, they happen in different places with different people at different times, and so you go back and forth in space and time, and you have to keep that in mind at least, and you have to keep in mind, you have to keep in mind at least the basic thread that's connecting all these people, all these places in their different timelines. And what's worse is that the writer can constantly change locations, shifting scenes like sudden changes in a movie, sudden cuts in a movie, multiple times within the same chapter. And I think this is a very conscious and deliberate act, and to me it's very obvious that the writer had the ambition of making a novel that's relatively easy to translate into a movie or a television series. I don't know if there have been any plans to that end, but I will just say that Revelation Space is set up to be able to be translated to a film, but at the same time it's quite difficult to turn into visual, a visual movie, and perhaps it could be abbreviated and shortened, to make a feature-length film based on the book. But in any case, it would have to be heavily streamlined and simplified. There's just too much going on in the book to be faithfully depicted in a film. Now, one of the things that makes this book difficult to translate into film is the fact that very often what takes place is not actually, real. The actors are not even human. They are simulations of avatars of of humans that are recalled to back into existence for some particular purpose, or their words, their thoughts, their actions are not happening in real time as a normal person could comprehend, but all those actions and thoughts are happening either in a very small or in an extremely large time interval. For example, a person might find themselves connected into a virtual reality simulation, and in that particular simulation they may enter another encapsulated state of mind, a simulated, a virtual state of mind, like a dream inside a dream. That is, for example, that is what example of what happens to Kuri. Now, Kuri is one of the main protagonists, and at some point, Kuri she connects herself cybernetically to the system of a starship that's controlling the weapons of the ship. And so she enters a virtual state of mind called gun space, in which her mind extends to fill and encompass the entirety of the ship. And then, during that particular function, she enters another simulated environment, which resembles a setting from her military past as a soldier, but which is itself just a setting. It's not a depiction, a replay of a past memory. It's just a setting that serves as a way to facilitate the triggering of some crucial information about the nature of her current mission. Now, in that third stage of immersion into a virtual dream state, she's presented with a view of the galaxy, and now her consciousness is expanding into a galactic level, and she can even count all the stars, the galaxy down to the last one. And now in that expanded state of mind, she is being told a brief story of the terrible wars between different galactic civilizations, and in that context, in that larger context, she's being told what exactly her role is within this vast story spanning billions of years and of time and thousands of light years in space. Now, I don't blame you if all this made absolutely no sense at all. Explaining what's going on in the book, even attempting to do so in a few lines of text, is utterly futile. Okay? Even if you decide to carefully read the book, your mind will feel like a pinball jerked around, tossed around from place to place. Sometimes you think you are entering, a self-contained, passage, a portion of the story, and then boom, you are immediately yanked away into another scene, which can be a little frustrating, admittedly. But that's exactly what hooks you in, what makes you want to come back to see what happened after that cliffhanging moment in the middle of that chapter. And what makes this book irresistible at many occasions is not only the unbelievable descriptions of various fantastic locations, but also the intricate descriptions of the characters' inner thought processes and the elaborations on their mental and emotional states. Take for example this particular description of Volyova's anxiousness during a stressful situation. Volyova is one of the three main characters in the story. Volyova felt as if her brain consisted of a room full of precocious schoolchildren, individually bright, and, if only they would pull themselves, capable of shattering insights. But some of those schoolchildren were not paying attention. They were staring dreamily out of the window, ignoring her protestations to focus on one present, because they found their own obsessions more intellectually attractive than the dull curriculum she was intent on dispensing. Now, it's exactly over-exuberant and luscious descriptions like these that immerse you into an almost hedonistic intellectual experience. Just like this passage I just read, you have a whole paragraph here instead of just an adverb. An adverb would be sufficient to describe what Voliova's state of mind was. But sufficient is not cutting it, not in this book. This book is just like delicious, delicious chocolate souffle for your mind. So, in conclusion, if you prefer a long, complicated, and amazingly intricate space saga, Revelation Space will definitely amaze you. By the end of it, you will find yourself a little disappointed to return to your pedestrian human reality. It's exactly cosmic visions like this one that make you wish you could expand your consciousness to have a broader picture of different scales of existence, both in terms of space and time.